and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Millie and welcome to another Multichrome Monday. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to space these out a little bit so that I can get some videos in between. Today I'm not going to be doing any eye swatches or anything like that. I will be giving you tips on how to use multichromes, and these tips really apply to pressed or loose forms of multichromes. And I will also be doing a demo on this look that I'm wearing right here. So as I'm talking you through the tips, you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and there will also be a mini version of this on my Instagram as an Instagram video with a little short voiceover that is a bit more condensed than this video. So this is where I'm really gonna go into depth about each step and just talk it through. So hopefully more detail will be also more helpful to you. Let's get started. I do have some notes just to make sure I cover everything. So we're starting out with picking a multichrome that you would like to use, and now what kind of matte eyeshadows would you want to use with it. So my guideline is usually I look at the shift, and typically there's two really main strong shifts and then like a shift in between. So I really go off of the two main shifts, and you'll be able to see those in the pan, but if not, you can always swatch them, look at them in different lighting, and really see what the strong shifts. So for this demo, I'm going to be using the Clionadh eyeshadow Anneal, and that one has a very strong deep green to a deep purple and a little bit of a teal between. So for this multichrome, I want to use mattes that complement the color, and you could always, of course, just use a multichrome, or you could also use opposite colors if you really wanted to kind of contrast the shifts. So the matte shades I'm going to be pairing are from Raine. The first one is Cute, which is a light purple that I will be kind of using to blend out some edges, and then Vibez, which will be in the crease, and then to deepen up the crease I'll be using Purp Smurf, and then to create kind of a transition between the purple and the green that I want to use, I'm going to be using Yacht. And then lastly, on my outer V, I'm going to go in with green to really complement that strong green shift. And another tip is to use only one multichrome. I know it's very tempting, and it's also a really fun idea to use multiple multichromes, but it's just you're not going to be able to see all the shifts. There's no way if one multichrome shade, let's say, has 3 shifts and then you put on 2 multichromes, there's no way you're going to see 6 shifts. It's just not realistic. And also something that really helps to show the shift is the bend in your eye. So obviously if you have one on a flatter surface like the inner corner and one on the curved surface of your eye, you're not going to be able to see a shift in the first shade on the inner portion. There's no really curve to show the shift, so I highly recommend only using one at a time and also trying to cover as much surface area as possible. But of course you can use as many multichromes as you want on your eyes, but just don't expect to see all the shifts. But just keep in mind that at that point you'll only see one color from each multichrome. Another tip is that you don't need to use a black base. You don't need to use any other colored base either, nor do you need a colored eyeshadow base, because these deeper types of multichromes already have a almost built-in black base, so to speak, and you don't need to put anything under it to really make the colors pop. They already pop by themselves. They're super metallic. So from my experience, any kind of black base or a colored base is not going to have an effect on the shifts or the colors. Let's get into the tutorial. I'm using Vibez in the crease, and I'm just pretty much kind of trying to pack it on and then blend it out a little bit. And then I'm using Purp Smurf, again packing it in and just blending it up a little bit and deepening up that crease. Or you could just go in with one shade and you don't have to deepen up the crease. And then to blend those 2 shades together, I'm using Vibez. So I don't want to use a deep green straight with the purple because I don't want it to look muddy. So I'm going to use a dark blue, which is Yacht, as a little transition between the purple and the green. So then under the deep blue, I'm going in with Squad and gently blending those out in the outer crease. So next we're ready to go in with the multichrome, and of course there's multiple ways of going about this. You could just put it on dry, you could wet your brush, or you can go in with a kind of glitter glue or a tacky base that sets, and that really just depends on the kinds of lids you have. If you have hooded, oily lids, I highly recommend using a glitter glue of some sort to make sure that you don't have any creasing. And I see all these brands saying you don't need to use their multichromes on top of a tacky base and you can just use them wet or dry and that they last forever, but that's just not the case. It's just not realistic. Of course they're going to be saying that because that's their product and they want to promote it and make it seem like it's perfect. You really just can't expect an eyeshadow to perform the same on everybody. There's so many different kinds of people who have all different kinds of eye shapes and dry lids, oily lids, etc. But if you find that multichromes work for you dry and without a tacky base, then of course you can skip this step. But I have very oily hooded lids and everything even non-multichrome shades tend to crease on me throughout the day, especially if I'm wearing something from 7 a.m. to about 6 p.m. It's not even realistic to expect something to last that long. So for longevity, I do recommend a tacky base. Today I'm using the Too Faced Glitter Glue, and I'm going to be applying it with a very little brush, and I'm also using a very small amount. You do not want to do too much because then it might actually crease on you. So I'm just going to be patting that on because I don't really want any harsh edges, and sometimes I even go in with my finger to tap out the glue edges to make sure that once I apply it, it won't be harsh and just stick there, because for this look I'm not trying to do a cut crease. And notice that I am covering quite a bit of an area, so I'm pretty much going from the inner corner to the outer corner. And to apply the multichromes, I highly recommend a flat brush, nothing too fluffy, because you really just want to be able to place it on without it getting fluffed up everywhere. And I'm using kind of tapping, swiping motions. You don't want to swipe too much because you might reveal some of that blackened base, especially if you're not using any kind of eyeshadows and you're just applying the multichromes directly on your skin. And you could use your fingers, but I prefer a flat brush because I have much more control even when I'm not doing a cut crease. I just like having the control of knowing exactly where I'm placing. So for the last part, I don't want a harsh edge between the matte shade and the multichrome. I'm going to go very, very gently and blend the multichrome just a tiny bit on the edges there so that it kind of blends into the mattes better. Now the way I do it is I take a very soft, very small fluffy brush and I do dip it into the multichrome just a little bit to make sure I have some on the brush but not a lot, and that's when I go in and just blend it. So the thing is, when you blend a multichrome, it does gray out because the black base gets revealed, because you're basically moving all the pigments around and almost kind of like swiping off the colored multichromes, if that makes sense. At least that's what I imagine is happening. So if you're using a multichrome on its own, just on your lid with no matte shades, and you start blending it out, it's going to gray out. So I recommend not really doing that too much. You can go and do it a tiny bit, but it's definitely easier to do it when you are using a matte shade in the crease, because then you kind of have that color that just helps to not show the blackened base. So those are my tips application wise. I also have some lighting tips. If you really want to capture the shift, I recommend 2 light sources, one on this side and one on this side, and basically you're hitting your eyelid from 2 different areas. So the moment you look this way, you have light hitting this way, and then you have light hitting this way, and it's revealing the shift thanks to the curve on your lid. And I do see some people saying that the shifts don't translate from arm swatches and finger swatches to the lid. While I understand how you might think that, because I definitely felt like that just a little bit between seeing really the in-between shift, because you definitely can see the 2 main shifts, but sometimes it is harder to see the in-between shift. But basically it's on your lid and you're going to be moving from light source to a light source, whether that's fluorescent light, natural light, a mixture of the both, different kinds of fluorescent lights, and then my studio lights. So I'll insert some videos that I took with my phone, because my phone is really what can capture it the best, because the camera just, you know, it needs a certain amount of light to really look okay. But with the phone I can move around easier. So for example, this is with my studio lights, again, one placed on the left side, one on the right side, and then me just spinning around on my chair, so further away from the light and then back into the light, and you can see how much it just shifts based on that, just moving back and forth, closer and further away. And then here's a video of window lighting, and you can definitely see the shift the moment I like tilt my head, and then it kind of evens out. I actually find that fluorescent lights show the shifts the best. Every time I wear a multichrome and I'm at work in the bathroom, we have like those like long lights on top of the sinks, and I feel like every time I go in there I can see the shift so well on each eye because of the way that the light sources are. They're just hitting my lids in all sorts of ways. So by no means do I think that multichromes are a scam and that they don't show the shift on the lid. I think there might be a, you know, one less shade you might be able to see on the lid, but that's also partially because you just can't, you know, keep your eyes closed and be like staring at your lid the whole time as you're turning at every light. It's just, you know, it's just fun for, and it's also just fun for other people, but they're just so fun. But but they're just so fun to wear. But I think they're just so fun to wear, not just for yourself, but also to the people around you that get to see the colors on your lids change. It's super fun to tricking your family and your coworkers. So I think those are all my tips. I might have forgotten something. I know when I'm going to be editing, I'm going to remember a tip or something. So I'm going to leave a pinned comment just in case if I did miss something. But I tried to be pretty thorough, so I hope that you found this helpful. So I hope this helps you use multichromes, no matter the brand, whether it's Clionadh, Luxie, or Terra Moons, or whatever. It's really applicable to any loose or pressed multichrome. If you enjoy multichromes, I have a lot of content already up, as well as future videos for Multichrome Monday, and I will leave the playlist up on the screen for you to check out if that's something you're interested. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. It would really mean so much to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.